Oh, okay. La, 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 la. I think we're ready. All right, let me get my microphone ready to go. Yeah, I can hear myself. All right, gang, welcome into our first Sunday social. I'll clap for myself. That's going to be a lot of fun. So this is going to be a kind of a reminiscent. It's going to be kind of a callback to an extent to a daily live stream we did way back in the day, 5 years ago, when we first moved down to Florida. We did what was called the Disney 101. Every single day while Disney was closed and everybody was home and had to stay home and nobody had anything to do, I did something called the Disney 101, where we took and we, every week, and we're going to do it again this week. Oh, geez, I just dropped them all. We would take out of the hat a ride, and we would take and we'll talk about the ride, talk about the history a little bit, and then we'll kind of give our opinion on the ride. We're going to talk about several different things. I'm going to go over what those are with you in a minute here. And I'm going to have my side of it, what I'm voting on, what I think, and then your side of it. And we'll kind of add it up. And as we go each week, we'll see which one is the highest rated ride out of all the rides and attractions we discuss. And you guys are always going to be involved with this. I will put a poll out there for each and every topic that we're going to touch on where you guys can vote. Each week, again, we'll pick one out. I picked one out to start. We're starting with Pirates, so we're getting right off on a good start. There's the goal up there. 100 likes is our goal for tonight, so if you haven't already hit the like button, please do so. Let me say hi to everybody in the chat real fast, and then we'll get some other mousekeeping done, and then we'll get right into this. Craig's Robotics, welcome in. I'm sure Craig will have a lot to talk about when it comes to animatronics and stuff like that. Jeannie, welcome in. Douglas Bailey's here. John the Bee's in the house. Animal Zone, welcome in. Hey, mates, here and present, waiting to see the captain and his wench. Yes, amen, right? Steve, Stardio Studios, first time I'm here before the live stream started. Yep, probably be the last, too. Just kidding. Sean, Jackal Monkey, welcome in. Good to see you. Pirates is the best ride. Okay, we can end this discussion. See you next week. I don't disagree. I mean, I do disagree, actually, Sean. It's not my favorite. But it is up there. Victor, welcome in. Janet, Victor, welcome in. Let's see. John's here. John A.B. Mr. Cruise Fever. Anthony, welcome in. Hope you and everybody's doing well. Haley, Connie, everybody. Melissa's here. It's her favorite ride. Mark F. Kimberly Hazard. Cynthia Candy Mom, our first member. Shane Wright. Herschel Lenny. Noah's in the house. Stephanie Danielle. Julie McCown. Dan 820 Chief. Oh, it just jumped on me. Hold on, guys. Jen Monorail Molly. What's up, Jen? Good to see you there. Good show tonight, by the way. Will Lovins. What's up, Will? Tara Enders, welcome in. Stephanie Danielle. La 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 la. Abby, welcome in. A.R. Glover. Lori Brantoni is here. Let's see. I jumped again. All right, Jeff. Jeff Condon, what's up, man? Welcome in. Keith. Dole Whip Donnie, welcome in. Monica Odiette, welcome. I'll do my best. I'll do my best, Keith. Enjoy dinner, though. It's more important. Kelly Monroe, Kim Daniels, Mr. Fulton Moraz. I think that's everybody. All right, so let's go over some guidelines as to how this is going to work. Each week, again, Cat Lady, welcome in. I love that name. So here's how it's going to work. Each and every week, we're going to get in here. At the end of this week, we'll pick out of the bowl the ride that we're traction that we're going to talk about next week. Here's the criteria of the different things we're going to rate the ride on. First, we'll talk a little bit about the history. I've got a little bit of notes. We're not going to get in depth into the history of the ride, but we're going to talk a little bit about the ride history, and then we're going to rate the ride. We're going to start with the queue, okay? And I'll go over that. We'll give our rating on the queue. Then we're going to talk about the ride itself. We'll talk a little bit about the ride. Then we'll give our rating of the rides. Then we're going to talk about, is the juice worth the squeeze, as I like to say? Is the ride worth the wait? And I'll give you different levels of wait, and you'll have to vote on that. From there, we'll talk about the merchandise on the ride. You know, how's the merchandise with the ride? Do they even have merchandise for the rides or attractions? You know, that could hurt it. That could hurt its scoring. And then lastly, we'll talk about the importance of it. You know, some rides are important to these parks and important to the people. Other ones, they aren't. And I'll give you the rating scale on them as well. A couple more people have come in. There's Horizons. Tim Pat, what's up, Cakes? Pat, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. I think that's it. All right, so here's how it's going to work. So you're going to rate the rides from 1 to 4. 1 being poor, 2 being okay, 3 being good, and 4 being great. Okay? For the queue, the ride, and for the merchandise. Now, for a couple of the other ones, they're going to be worded a little bit different, but same type thing. 1 will be the worst, 4 will be the best. And I'll put the poll in for everybody to vote. And I'll give it again, just like we do when we do the brackets. I'll give you 2 minutes to get your votes in as to how the ride ranks. And the overall winner is how you guys rate for each category. Does that all make sense? Give me a thumbs up if that all makes sense. And as we get into it, you'll see what I mean. But let me get a couple thumbs ups. And as we get into each and every voting, you'll see what I mean. Well, you know what, Keith, here's what I'll say. You know what? When I looked at my scores, and I have my scores, it's not a 5 across the board for this. It's not. It's not for me anyway. But everybody's different. That's why we do this, and that's why we vote. And my scores could be vastly different than the chat's. And that's going to play a part here. You know, somebody might really love Guardians. Other people may not like it at all because they can't handle it, because they get sick. All right, everybody looks like they understand. Tara Enders, welcome in. Juju's Collectible Corner, welcome in. All right. Okay, so it looks like everybody's good to go. All right, so let's talk about the history of the ride first, a little bit of the history. Going to read a couple things here. I thought this was kind of neat. You guys may already know this. So, Pirates of the Caribbean, of course, debuted out in California first. But we're specifically talking about just the Walt Disney World Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, it debuted at Magic Kingdom. Disney World's Magic Kingdom debuted in 1971. And, of course, they brought over many popular rides from Disneyland to the East Coast. But Pirates of the Caribbean was not among them. As the Caribbean region is geographically located near Florida, it was thought a Caribbean-themed ride would not hold the same mystique as it did in California. Instead, the Western River Expedition with Big Thunder Mountain would replace the ride with a similar boat ride and other rides. Walt Disney World's visitors were vocal in their disappointment at the missing ride, leading Disney to quickly announce a Florida version instead of that Western River Expedition. The new Pirates of the Caribbean ride opened December 5th, 1973. I thought that was neat. They didn't think it was going to work here in Florida, so they were like, "No, we're not going to do that in Florida." And then all the customers and fans said, "Nope, we got to have that ride here. You got it out there. We want it here." And good thing they did. And you know what? It's one of the most popular rides of all time. Marguerite Nagy, welcome in. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. That's right, Noah. And it was Walt's last ride that he worked on. Paul Engel, welcome in. I didn't know it either. I just found out about that, Victor, a few years ago. What's up, Al? Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Hope Renee's doing well. Renee. Anyway, so I thought that was really, really neat. There's the ride itself. This is from one of our streams. I'll bring this up while we start all the good stuff. Smiling politely. Good to see you again. So I thought that was kind of neat. And, of course, Pirates of the Caribbean is all over now. I mean, you got it in other parks, too. And that's why when we get into the voting, I'm going to be interested to see how everybody votes. Because different categories might be 5s. Different categories might be 3s or 2s or maybe even a 1. Who knows? It's all up to you guys. 58 likes. Hit that like button now. Goal is 100. Let's see if we get there. All right. So first category we're gonna vote on. We're gonna talk about is the queue. And as you can see on the video coming in, the queue's the first thing we're gonna see as we go in here. So what do you guys think about the queue? Because some people don't like queues. So let me just do this. I'll put it up here first. I'm gonna put it out there for you guys now. And just look at the queue in case you're not sure. Now the queue, a lot of it's outside. A lot of it's not outside. All right. And vote. Okay, so here you go. So you guys can now vote on what you think about the queue. Is it a poor queue? Is it just okay? Is it good? Is it great? I'll give you my score on the queue. This is just my score. You guys are still voting. Okay, this is my Q score. Let me pull it up. I give it a 3. I give it a 3. I think it's good. I don't think it's great. You know, the outside part, if you're out, you know, you've got just that short area inside that's very well done. Themed great, fantastic. But that outside area is, you're outside, it's just a switchback. It's okay. I don't love that part of the queue. Once you get inside, it takes it to another level, absolutely. So I can't give it a great for this, but I can give it a good. It's definitely not okay, and it's definitely not poor. I think this is a good queue, but I don't think it's a great queue. And again, for me, what I consider to be great is different than what other people might consider to be great. All right, we only got 39 votes so far. I want to see more people vote. Now let's get some votes in there. I want to hear from you guys. All right. Sean says the outside part I think is not the greatest, but when you get inside, it's a great setting. It is. It is. And that's why for me, Sean, I couldn't give it a 4. Because when we get into some of these other rides, the entire queue is unbelievable. And that's a 5 to me. Outside effects and scenes deteriorate with the elements. They do. And Craig, I don't even necessarily need... I just wish it was all inside. An all inside queue. And again, everybody's going to rank differently. That's why we do this. You know, that's why we do it. So for me, I gave it a total score of a 3. And, you know, we've got 51 votes. So I'm going to start the 2-minute warning to let, 75 people in here. And you're seeing the queue. And I'm going to stop this for a minute. Well, we got a second here if I can. No, you know what? I don't think it's going to let me stop it. I wanted to stop it, but I don't think I can. All right, so we're just going to keep going. All right, so we got about a minute and a half left here. And the queue is, again, I like the queue. But I don't love it. I just don't. What's up, Tina? Welcome in. And again, I want everybody to vote on this. That's why we're voting. And I think most people are in conjunction, are on the same pace as me when it comes to the queue. I think we like it a lot, but it's not something that I love. Do people wish it was an inside queue because there's AC indoors? Yes, Steve. I think that's part of it for me. What does help the outside is you're completely covered. So if it is raining, as long as you're in underneath that area and you're in the queue, you're good. So weather isn't going to be a deterrent like it is on some of these other rides when we get to them. Jonathan Sean, welcome in. It's a good queue. To me, better when they have live actors in special times. Jen said, I like the queue. I like it better if I can walk real fast through it. And again, I think you need to take that into account, when you're voting. All right, we got 57 votes. We're going to give it another 30 seconds here or so, and then we'll stop it. Looks like most people are on the same page as me. It's good. It's not great. And, of course, we'll get into the ride. We're going to talk about the ride in a second here. Jason, welcome in. Jason Thibodeau, welcome. I like this ride. I love the ride. We're going to get into the ride in a second here. Don't tempt us, Will. We're trying to figure out if we want to move down there. Right, Stacy? Amen. All right, so that's it. All right, so we're going to stop this right now. That's it. 2 minutes is up. So you guys you're on the same page with me. Everybody thinks it's good for the most part. It's not great. So that makes sense. I totally get it. That's how I am. Now let's get into the ride itself. And how you rate the ride is up to you. Me personally, I think this ride's fantastic. I love this ride. I'm not comparing it. My rating is based on this ride alone. I like the Pirates in California better, but I love our Pirates. This is an incredible ride for me. I don't see how anybody doesn't. All the animatronics are amazing. I love them. I think they do such a great job with them. Each scene is amazing. I'm getting the scores ready for you guys right now. Let me put this in there so you guys can vote. The scenes are amazing. The animatronics are amazing. There you go. You guys can vote. The song, the score is fantastic. I think everything about this is great. And so for me, my ride score is, let me get that out of there. My ride score is a 4. It's great. I think this is great. It's incredible ride. Every single scene you go into, you have the drop. Every scene you go into is amazing. The animatronics are fantastic. If I had one knock on the ride, and again, this is me being nitpicky, it's changing the scene from the redhead to whatever her name is. I forgot her name now. I think they should have kept it as we want the redhead. Heather Springer, what's up, Heather? Welcome in. I'm always hey, Gregory, hi, buddy. Hope he's doing well. Cakes, Pat says, I'm always amazed at how big it is inside this ride. It's amazing, isn't it? It's fantastic. Matt Flat Hatter says, I get the ambiance, but always afraid gonna trip missing something, right? I love this ride. We wants the redhead. Yeah, me too. I have never been on the Disneyland one, so I only know this one. Yeah, I get it, Juju. Absolutely. All right, everybody. Be sure to vote. What did Melissa say? Did I miss something? Walt ran into the wall in the queue. I did run into the wall into the queue one time. Because I'm outside where it's really, really bright, and you go inside where it's really dark. My eyes hadn't adjusted yet. I walked right into the wall. The constant looking around and things going on around you make the ride great. Even if it breaks down and backs up, you still get entertained. I agree, Sean. That's why for me, this is a 4. Absolutely, it's a 4. I love this ride. I think they do a fantastic job with it. It's amazing. It's definitely a ride we love to do. It's Melissa's favorite. All the animatronics are amazing. Everybody knows the score. Everybody knows the song. Everybody knows the different words to the animatronics of what they're going to say. All right, time's up on the voting. No surprise. Everybody's on the same page with me. This ride is great. It's a 4 from everybody, including me, when it comes to the ride. What's up, Dave? Dave says, I say the lady chasing the man with the broom in the kitchen is Donna chasing Arjun. That's funny. Unpopular opinion, leave out Johnny Depp was better before. I'm fine either way, Kim. If he's in there, I don't think it hurts it for me. If he's not in there, I wouldn't lose sleep. Kat says, I can say 4 because I ride it multiple times in a day or multiple trips and see something new for some reason. Yeah, that's just it, though. I agree 100%. There are only 2 failure points, load and unload belts. Yeah, I get it, Craig. I know you know. Stacy says, Pirates always just takes what they want. They don't pay for it. No, that's true. Prison Dog with the key is the best part. Noah likes the end. And again, this is one of my streams, so I'm sorry if it's a little wonky in there, but I wanted to show you the ride. Dan Monroe, welcome in. I can only imagine what the evacuation's like. It's just soda, guys. All right, everybody's saying hi to everybody. All right, so that's the ride. We've done the queue. We've done the ride. Now, next, I'm going to do what's called, is the juice worth the squeeze? Okay, and I flirt with all the Captain Sparrows. Never know if it'll be him. You're funny, Cynthia. I love the room that is on fire and smells like bubblegum, right? It does. All right, here we go. I'm going to put it in. We're going to vote on this one next. Now, let me explain what I mean by this. How many minutes are you going to wait for this ride? Okay, this is what I'm getting at for this one. All right, how many minutes are you going to wait? And I'm going to give you different levels of minutes that you're going to wait. Oh, pardon that. That burp is sponsored by D&G Explorers. All right, so here we go. Here's your voting. For Pirates of the Caribbean, how long are you waiting for this ride? Are you going to wait? Are you willing to wait 10 to 20? Are you willing to wait 20 to 30? Are you willing to wait 30 to 40? Or are you willing to wait 40 or more? In there, you guys vote. How would you do this one? Is the juice worth the squeeze? For me, I would wait 30 to 40 minutes. If I'm down there, now I'm thinking of this, Canadian Disney family, welcome in. I'm looking at it for me as a vacationer, not somebody that lives down here. Because living down here, I'll wait 10 minutes. I'm not waiting more than that because I can go tomorrow. But if I'm a vacationer, thinking as a vacationer, which the majority of you are, I'll wait 30 to 40 minutes for Pirates of the Caribbean. That's it. That's it for that. I definitely would. So that's why for me, I gave it a 3. I'm going to wait a little bit on this. It's worth it to me. The ride is not 2 seconds, 20 seconds long, and then it's done. So that's how I feel on that part. Melissa says, I feel like my opinion is much different since we go so often. Maybe I have to look at, yeah. Well, Melissa, I'm looking at it as if I'm a vacationer who doesn't live down here. Because it's going to be different if I'm looking at it as a annual pass holder local. I'm not looking at it like that. I'm looking at it as if I'm a vacationer. If it's raining, I'll wait as long as it takes, Jeff says. Hey, man, I get it. Yep, for sure. The lightning lane at Disneyland worked really well for me. I got on the ride within 5 to 10 minutes. That's good. See, Noah waited 60 minutes. And that's the thing. That's why you got to vote your way. Are you going to wait 30 to 40? Are you going to wait 40 or more? No, I'm not waiting more than 10 to 20 minutes. That's all I'm waiting. What's up, Vicky? Welcome in. Good to see you. Vicky says, see, she's not waiting more than 15 minutes, so she's going to give it a 1. And I totally get that. It's different for everybody. For me, it's a 3. I'll wait 30 to 40 minutes. Again, as a vacationer. Just pretend you know someone at the front of the line. Yeah, right, Sean? I hate when people do that. All right. So 57 people voted, and you guys agree with me. You'll wait 30 to 40 minutes. And again, that's as somebody who, how do I say this? As a vacationer. That's how I'm looking at it. So that's what I would do for that one. Let me get that one out of there. All right. Oh, I got to add one in here too. Hold on. Let me add this in. Hold on 1 second, guys. I got to add one in here. You guys saw it, but that's all right. You can see it. I don't care. We'll get to that one. But we're not at that one yet. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is merchandise. Because, again, Josh Edwards, welcome in. Good to see you here. Let's talk merchandise on this ride. So, let's talk about the merch. What do you think about the merchandise? It can be yes, no, different things. Let me bring up the merchandise. Same type thing as always. I'll get into my idea of merchandise in a minute here. Let me get it all set up. Just like before, it's going to be, is it going to be poor? Is it going to be okay? Is it going to be good? How do you guys rate the merchandise? There you go. So the thing about this ride is it has an advantage of you exit right into the gift shop, which I think is awesome. I love that a lot of the rides do that. All the rides don't do that. Did you and Melissa watch the live action Lilo and Stitch? No, Lori, we probably won't. Never seen Curb Your Enthusiasm, Victor. Haven't seen it. What's up, Vicky? Welcome in. What do you think of the merchandise? This ride exits right into the merchandise, right into the store. I think they have a lot of really good stuff in this store. I really do. I think they have some really awesome stuff. The different shirts are really fun. They have the different pirate stuff. You can get a pirate hat. You can get a hook. You can get a sword. You can get an eye patch. They have all kinds of awesome shirts and different things you can get. They have lounge flies. Pirates of the Caribbean is in the parade. They have all kinds of different stuff. James E., welcome in. Good to have you here. And that's the thing, Pat. That's why, you rate it the way you want to rate it. That's exactly right. And that's the thing, too. And that's going to play a part. Maybe you're not a person that likes to buy merch. I'm a fan of the pins, but not much anything else to me. Most of the merch is geared towards young kids. Dan says, I enjoy seeing the pirates, but I don't necessarily want to dress like a pirate. I get it. It's very theme-oriented, at least. I would say everything in the store will make us feel like we are in play. What's up, Pete? Wrong pirates, Pete. They probably will, though. C. Jones, welcome in. The merch quality is great. The pricing for some items, always. Several things. My favorite Spirit jersey is from there. Here you go. See? That's the thing. Don't they have a politically incorrect t-shirt there that says something like, let the beatings begin? Yes. It says the beatings will continue until morale improves. I think that shirt's fantastic. All right, so merchandise for me, I give it a 3. I think the merchandise is good. I think a lot of the shirts, just like that one, that says the beatings will continue until morale improves. I love that shirt. I think they're fantastic. Kat says, the theme of the shop is very well done, and the product is very nice for all ages. I bought a sweatshirt last year, and I like it a lot. There you go, see? Smiling politely says, yep, Pete McDevitt, there you go. That's funny. Here's a question. Is the ride Pirates of the Caribbean better off since the movie came out? No. Nope. I don't think the movie would have made any bit of difference. Not to me, anyway. What's up, Scott? Welcome in. I voted good because some of the shirts are really funny. That's how I voted. And again, everybody's on the same page as me. The merch is there. I like the merchandise. I think the merchandise is excellent. I think they do such a good job with it. I think they need to do more of it, though. And just make it more for adults as well. I think they would sell more if they would make it a little bit more adult-oriented. Some of it is, some of it isn't. And not only that, the other thing they did with the store that I don't like, and I wish they would have gone back to the old way. You know, they're making the new Pirates Tavern there, and they've really cut into the store. The store is nowhere near as big as it used to be. I'm a little bummed at that. I wish the store was... I just wish it was the size it used to be. Jeff Snook, welcome in. Pete, they need an owner who will spend like another team we both know. Jeff, we need to get into the Orioles thing. I think people are jumping a little too soon on the owner here. The guy's owned the team less than a year. I'm not going to jump on him just yet. It's very easy to spend other people's money. It is. It's very easy to spend other people's money. And I'm going to give him some time before I'm going to... We're talking baseball now, but I'm not going to jump on him just yet. I'm going to give him some time. Pamela Hoffman, welcome in. All right, so yeah, that's what I'm sorry to see the store kind of get cut in half, because a lot of the stuff that they had in there, they may now have to get rid of, and it may not be there anymore. So I don't like that. But anyway, we'll see. All right, last thing I want to go over with you guys, and this is going to be a fun one. I'm going to really enjoy how everybody votes on this one, is the importance of the Pirates of the Caribbean to Disney World and Disney. And what I mean by that is just the ride, its importance in the parks, how often we see it. You know, is it in the parades? Is it in the fireworks? Are the characters around? Is it really an important part of the ambiance of Disney and Disney World? You know, when you think of some rides, there's no importance there. It's just a ride. But is this iconic enough that it's included in the characters, the meet and greets, the merch, the food, the shows, the parades, this, that? All of that goes into this. And how would you feel if this ride went away? Okay? And that's the important one. And we're going to vote on that right now. This ride's importance. All right? I'm going to give you guys 4 options, just like before. And they're all going to be a little bit different. You're going to like the way this is done. Let me get it all in here. Let me do this. I'm getting it all together for you guys, because I want you all to vote on this. I'm going to be interested to see how everybody does. All right, here we go. So, what's the importance of this ride? Let's say they're going to get rid of it. For you, is it like, all right, fine, they're getting rid of it. Time to go anyway. Or maybe it's, if something better comes along, okay, that's fine. Or maybe it's, I'm upset. This one really upsets me, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Or this ride better not go anywhere. I'm chaining myself to the ride. It's never going anywhere. How do you vote on this? Look, for me, the importance of this ride is it goes without saying. The merchandise is there. The character meet and greet of Captain Jack Sparrow. The ride at Disney during the Halloween time becomes an extra special event with all the different overlays they do in the ride. It's in the parades. It's in the Halloween parade. The movies, they've done movies on this ride. This ride is an important ride. It's an important, iconic ride that everywhere you look, Pirates is right there. It is the greatest ride for some people. It really is. And I want to hear why you voted the way you voted. If you voted Time to Go, I want to know why. You know, for me, part of me wants to say if something better comes along, okay. But what I mean by that, for me, is if they gave me the Shanghai Disney Pirates, I'd say all for it right now. Because I think the Shanghai Disney Pirates is one of the greatest rides ever invented. But I don't want to. If they were to replace it with that, I think I'd be okay with it. But I don't want Pirates gone forever. It's too iconic. It's Pirates of the Caribbean. Core 4 Challenge, a tournament to determine the top 4 iconic rides at Magic Kingdom. Maybe we might do that one day, Dave. Yeah. Exactly, Sean. I agree with that. I can't afford to be permanently banned by chaining myself to any ride. People actually voted Time to Go. Do not tell me who you are. C. Jones says, I think the ride is a staple, heavily due to Johnny Depp's portrayal of Captain Jack Sparrow. I think it would be missed. What would take its place? Oh, yeah, exactly. I don't know, C. Jones. I thought Pirates of the Caribbean, and I'm sure a lot of people agree, I don't think the movies made it any more popular. I think the ride was popular either way. For me, the importance is it's a 4. I'm chaining myself to the ride, and it can't go anywhere. It just can't. It can't go anywhere. I can't imagine Walt Disney World without Pirates of the Caribbean. How is that? That can't happen. Dave's Disney Dreams, welcome in, right? Exactly, Pat. Magic Kingdom isn't Magic Kingdom if it doesn't have Pirates of the Caribbean. Exactly, Victor. You can't take away. What's up, Dave? Dave Disney Dreams. They can improve it, but they can't afford to lose it. Exactly, James. That's exactly right. Upgrade, yes. Replacement, no. Yeah, I'm not. This is never going anywhere. Cindy Mon, Time to Go. Make them walk the plank. Right? That ride is an all-time classic. No go. It's an anchor of adventure. It is, Craig. It absolutely is. And look, 62 people voted. I'm actually surprised some people said Time to Go. And that's fine if you did. Nothing wrong with that. You know, it's different for everybody. It is definitely different for everybody. And that's the key. You know, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. All right, so let's see. Yep, everybody said I can see different versions, but can't replace. Yeah, man, if we, guys, exactly, Kelly. Too much. I agree. Very, very true. I would agree 100%. I think it's just one of those things. Yeah, and Lori, that's perfectly fine. If you're not into the ride, I totally get it. Matt, Simba 2 says, hey, if they replaced the one in Florida, it would depend on what replaced it. But if we're talking about the one in California, then I'm chaining myself to it. Okay. But that's what I'm saying, Matt. But that's why then you would say, then for you, how would you vote? You would vote, you know, if they replaced it with something better, okay. That's how you would vote. For me, I don't want the ride going away. It's got to be Pirates. It can be a better version of Pirates, but it has to be Pirates. It can't be something different. Pirates of the Caribbean cannot go away from Walt Disney World permanently. That's the thing. Living near a Disney theme park is on my next to-do list, says Steve. I doubt it would be Shanghai Disney. Yeah, amen. I would base no removed Magic Kingdom rides as they are also original at Disneyland. Yeah, some of them are. It's true. Gregory was ready to throw down because he thought you were saying they were getting rid of it. No! Gregory, you ain't got nothing to worry about, buddy. All right, so yeah, everybody's Dole Whip Tani says saying hey to Al. Dave says, Walt, do you have any recent information why the Stitch attraction has never been updated and reopened? No, Dave, none. They've given no clue as to why they haven't done that yet. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's if it's a financial thing, or if they just, now that they've announced all these other things coming, it's fallen to the back burner. I don't know. It's like put a Cars ride over Rivers of America in Walt Disney World. Well, okay, but if they do that in Disneyland, everyone would chain themselves to the ride. Exactly. But Steve, that's the key. I mean, here's the thing. Tom Sawyer Island here, I got to admit it, nobody goes over there. Those boats, the people are not clamoring to get over to Tom Sawyer Island. Very few people are clamoring to get on the riverboat. And that's the problem. What I don't like with folks, if you like something, then you need to support it. Okay? Don't all of a sudden get mad because Tom Sawyer Island's going away at Walt Disney World and the riverboat's going away, but you haven't been on it in 10 years. But now you're mad it's going away. You don't really have a leg to stand on. I love the riverboat. We're on the riverboat almost every time we're in Magic Kingdom. Almost every time. If we're streaming past 11 o'clock, most of the time we're going to get on that boat. If we're over in that area. I love it. Tom Sawyer Island, couldn't care less. It's not a thing for us. I think in all the years we've gone to Disney World, we've been over there twice. Since we've moved down here, have we even been over there? I don't know that we have. And if we did, we probably walked around it for a little bit and got off. It's not a big deal to me. Now, for some people, I heard reasons, but will not share as not verified. I got you, Dave. Yep. It's going to be different for everybody. I totally get it. But that's why I always tell folks, like Muppets. We love Muppets. We go into Muppets all the time when we're over at Hollywood Studios. We're sorry to see it go. But I can't get mad at them getting rid of something if it's not something I've supported all these years. That's just me. Leanne, good show tonight, Leanne. You did great, by the way. We actually like Tom Sawyer Island, but I can see why it's going away. They could definitely reuse that area for something else, like an entire Pirates Land. Yeah, they could, Sean. I agree. Look, it's a huge footprint, for one. It's a giant area. Think about where that boat goes. The entire path of that boat, all that water, all that land in the middle there. It's a huge footprint. They could do a lot with it. And that ride, that Cars ride, it's going to be cool. It is. You guys know it is. It's going to be cool. We can't say it's not. I'd be shocked if it's not cool. I took a ton of pictures from the island. Cynthia, that's the key. It's different for everybody. I'll miss the Liberty Bell, but I won't miss the island. Yep. The only thing I've visited less than Tom Sawyer Island is Swiss Family Treehouse. Will says. See, I like that too. We go up in the treehouse a lot. A lot of times on streams, we'll go up there. Part of it is because it is easy to stream. Fair enough. But we enjoy it. And we'll talk about that when we get to these rides. We're going to talk about Tom Sawyer Island. We're going to talk about the treehouse. We're going to talk about all these rides. And we're going to vote on them, just like we voted on this. So overall, when you look at the voting, we all voted the same. We gave it a 3 for the queue. We gave it a 4 for the ride. We gave it a 3 for the wait. We gave it a 3 for the merchandise. And we gave it a 4 for the importance. A total score of 17 divided by 5 is a 3.4 total score for Pirates. So Pirates gets a total score of 3.4. So obviously that's the first one. Whoever we rate next week, we'll see where they rate. Maybe they're 3.5. Maybe they're 3.3. Who knows? It's all going to depend. Well, Dave, it's not going to... I'll be interested to see how they do that. They are. Victor, here's the thing. There's validity to that. Victor says... This is what Victor says. And Victor's right. I understand what Victor's saying. Let me put his in here. He says, Cars Land will be great. Sometimes Disney's damned if they do, damned if they don't. People want change, and when they do, some people still complain. People are always going to complain, Victor. But what Disney has to do right is Disney has to... They don't have long-term vision anymore. They don't look at things long-term. They look at the here and now in a short-term plan. a short-term fix, a short-term idea. They don't look at it long-term anymore, in my opinion. Cars Land's going to be fine, but is that the right place for Cars Land? That's the problem. The ride idea is good. What's up, Richard? Welcome in, the legend. Yeah, the Villain's Land will look nice. I agree 100%. The issue, and it's the main issue I have with Disney right now, and it's part of the reason why I think Disney never, we've asked for media and all that a lot to see if we could ever get it from Disney. Disney isn't going to give it to us. But that's fine. That's okay. I get it. But part of the reason I think they don't is because of stuff like this. I think Disney's vision is bad. It's not what it used to be. They don't look at things long term. Let's think about this. This is Frontierland. So you've already screwed up Frontierland by putting a bayou in Frontierland with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. We didn't think that through very well. Chris Nedlin, welcome in. Now we're going to put a Cars ride right in the middle of Frontierland. Even if they put it on off-roading, it doesn't make sense there. They could have done Cars and made it futuristic and put it in Tomorrowland. I don't know why they didn't do that. You can have Cars in the future and make them look futuristic and make that whole area look Cars themed and shut it down and put it there. They didn't want to do that. It is what it is. Animal Zone, it would be better. I agree. Keith says to survive and be relevant, you have to keep attracting new people. Nostalgia, as much as I love it, doesn't pay the bills. See, here's Keith, I'm going to disagree. I disagree. I wholeheartedly disagree with that nostalgia does not pay the bills. Most people love Cinderella Castle. They love Snow White. They love Prince Charming. They love Sleeping Beauty. They love Belle. They love Ariel. They love Tangled. None of them are new anymore. Okay? I'm only 54 years old. I wasn't around when Snow White was around. I wasn't around when Cinderella was around. I wasn't around when Sleeping Beauty was around. But I know them. And I want to see them. And I like them. So I think nostalgia is part of the thing here. We might go, like my kids, they all know. And part of it is parenting too. You got to have your kids grow up watching that stuff. I had my kids grow up watching that stuff. And maybe as these movies get further away, maybe you're right. But for me, I think nostalgia does play a big part. It's part of the reason why I do go back. Because I don't like the new movies. Coco is fine. Moana is I think we never even watched Wish. I don't have any interest in Wish. None of this new stuff, most of it, I don't even have an interest. If I don't see the characters from Coco, Moana, or Wish, I don't care. But if I see Snow White walking down the road or Cinderella walking down Main Street, I'm like, oh my God, look who it is. So I don't know. I get what you're saying. But Keith, for me, I think nostalgia does make an impact for folks. I would think they would put where the racetrack is. I don't know. I just think for me, I think it is. I think that they could put that over there. I think they could have put that there. I don't know why they think they don't. Well, are you saying I'm old? Yes, Al, we are old, but we're not that old. How sad. We're not that old. My father wasn't even around for Cinderella. My father was born in 1944. He wasn't even around for Cinderella when it first came out. Yes, I know. Melissa loves Coco. I think Coco's good. I like Coco. But if I walk down the street and Miguel's not there, or Miguel's walking down the street, I'm going to go, oh, cool, look, there's Miguel. But I'm not going to go ape crazy. I just said a bad word. I'm sorry. For it. Really, the really question is Coco or Cars Land, bring them away from Epic Universe. Well, that's the thing too. Epic Universe is, but again, if we get into Epic, I agree with everything you're saying, Walt. Nostalgia, I think it does. I think nostalgia does sell. But I get Keith, I think what you're saying, there's validity to that. I absolutely do. I think there's validity to that. And I think Disney, in a way, agrees with you wholeheartedly because Coco, Moana, and Wish are going to be primary floats in the new parade. So I think Disney definitely agrees with you in that aspect of it. I think so. I got a thumbs down. Was that Keith? And Encanto. Encanto for me is fine. I think Encanto's okay. But I don't, it's not one of those that, I don't know. It's just not, I think nostalgia has a legitimate place in these parks. Right? I know, I got to put my dollar in this, in the Ape Crazy. That's what I meant to say. I got to put $1 in the swear jar. I know, I got to put myself in the timeout. I'm sorry, everybody. I know, family friendly, for sure. I'm sorry, Gregory. I know, I shouldn't have said that. But anyway, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But there's a lot. I just think Disney needs to get back to thinking long term. Thanks. Thanks, Al. That's so funny. Keith, what's up, buddy? Welcome in. Keith says, you're 100% great. I'm not a fan of any of the new stuff. My kids love all the classics, but I feel like kids now think Disney started with Stitch. That's, Keith, that's a legitimate point. It really is. But I think a part of it, and it's not that it's wrong, I think a lot of that's upbringing. You know, you're right, if that's all they see. But, you know, I don't know. It's hard to say. I think you're right to an extent. I agree. I think what Disney needs to have is a balance of both. Make sure the nostalgia stays because that's what got you there in the first place, and then bring all the other stuff in. James says, I'm starting to get tired of live action. I'm not a fan of any of them, James. Having a 7-year-old, we will be into the new characters and movies. I thought Moana 2 was a great movie. Juju, that's perfectly fine. And there's nothing wrong with showing them the new movies. But there's also nothing wrong with showing them the classics either. The classics are great. They really are. And if they might like them better, my kids did. They like the new stuff, but they really like the old stuff too. And I have boys. Kat says nostalgia has a part in, especially since it's that age that's paying to go there with the kids and one. Yeah, exactly. What Sean said, I didn't see that. If you see me in person again, you better bring the swear 55-gallon drum jar, not a jar. Right? Exactly. For sure. You're funny. Sean, you're funny. I got to meet Sean and his wife and I think it was your mom, right? Trying to get her into the older movies, Melissa. She does love Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, again, I think they're all great. Don't get me wrong. There she is. There's Jen. I still have all my Disney VHS tapes. We don't have VHS, but we do have the DVDs and the Blu-rays. Jen, hold on to them. I'm telling you right now, hold on to them. By the way, guys, we hit 100 likes. Good job. I can take that out of there. Woohoo! All right, so that's it. Dan Monroe once says, last comment, I want my kids to have the same magical experience I did when I went to the park. There also has to be attractions that can relate to them. I got you. I don't know. Melissa will tell you, I don't need things to relate to me. I don't need them to relate. There's not one ride in Magic Kingdom that relates to me. Even as a kid, I can't think of anything that relates to me. I don't need, for me, and again, I'm in the minority here. I totally get it. I go to the movies to get away from the relatability. I don't want to relate, okay? I want the good guy to be the good guy. I want him to do the right thing. I want him to win. I want him to ride off into the sunset and get the girl. I get away from relatability by going to the parks. I want to have fantasy and Tomorrowland and Adventureland and Frontierland, things I can't relate to because I want to get away from it. But that's just me. And as a kid, I was the same way. I don't need to relate to Captain America. I'm not Captain America. He is. I'm not. You know, but I want to see him win. So I get what you're saying about the relatability, but for me, that's not a thing. But it is for a lot of folks. I totally get it, though. Don't get me wrong. And Dave, or whoever it was that said that, I totally get that, and you're 100% correct. For me, I don't need that. It's never been. I don't know. It's just not one of those things. All right, everybody's saying hi, but all right, all right. So here we go. Still waiting for Disney to do a multiverse blending movie timeline like Kingdom Hearts. That would be cool. All right, so here we go. We got to pick our ride or attraction for next week. It's time. So let me get some drum rolls. Give me some drums in the chat, please. Here we go. Autocorrect. Nice, Melissa. All right. So we did Pirates. Good way to start. Who are we going to be going to next week? Are we going to back to Magic Kingdom? Are we going to Epcot? Maybe we're going over to Animal Kingdom. Maybe we'll make our way over to Hollywood Studios. No, not really. Dave. But I don't, it's not, I guess maybe I'm misinterpreting. It's funny you said that, Dave, because relating, I guess when I say I have to relate, like, I don't know. I don't know how to put that. I guess that's not really, do I want to be Eddie Murray? Or do I want to be Cal Ripken? Sure, I want to emulate them, but I don't need to relate to them, if that makes sense. Like, did I ever want to, did I act like Batman when I was a kid? Sure, I acted like Batman, but I knew I wasn't Batman. I guess I'm not, relatability to me means it has to be somebody I understand. I guess I don't need that. I just want to watch him for the entertainment value and say, oh, he's really cool. He's beating up all the bad guys. He got the girl in the end and rode off into the sunset. That doesn't happen in real life. I don't want to relate. I just want to enjoy. Maybe I'm misinterpreting what relatability means. But yes, I would act as Batman when I was a kid. Sure, I love Batman. Shut up, Melissa. Taking too long. All right, here we go. Next week. This is it right here. This is what we're going to do next week. Let me get this out of there. What are we going next week? Wrap it up. That's an inside joke. Never mind. It's an inside joke. Where are we? Oh! Yes, sir. This is going to be awesome. Melissa, 2 for 2, girl. We're heading to Epcot. Spaceship Earth. Spaceship Earth next Sunday, gang. How about that? Melissa's 2 favorites. Yes, Dave. Jeff. Exactly. I want to escape reality for a while. Exactly. Anyway, Spaceship Earth next week. That's amazing. That's awesome. So we're going to go over to Epcot next week. We're going to talk Spaceship Earth. Same criteria. Queue. Ride. Is the juice worth the squeeze? The merchandise. The importance of the ride. All of that next Sunday, 8 o'clock on the Sunday Social. We're getting into our next ride. Maybe I'll even have Melissa in here. Maybe I'll have her do the stream. That's what we should do. Maybe it'll be Melissa who does it. Maybe we should vote on that. Who knows? I don't know. She probably doesn't want to do it. Anyway, all right, guys, have a great week. We'll be back Tuesday night. I'm not sure where yet. We might be at a park. Tuesday night. We'll see. Anyway, hope you guys all have a great week. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to my mods. Thank you to all my PayPals, Super Chats, members. Thank you for your extra generosity and loyalty. And this is our dream. Steve's World, Disney, Dan, Pete McDevitt, all 4 of our partner channels. Check them out. Thanks, gang, for being here. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I definitely enjoyed bringing it to you. Hope you all have a great week. And until the next stream, take care of yourselves and each other. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, gang. Spaceship Earth next week.